I'm sorry. I also get to announce somebody who's an influencer. You all know her. You're young people. You're out on these social media things. Liza Koshy. She's got billions of followers, and she took time out to come be here with us today.
Yo, what's up, Vegas? How you feeling? I say, Vegas, how you feeling? Yeah, that's what I thought. What's up? I'm self-appointed Harris hype woman Liza Koshy at your service. Good morning. Now, I am Liza, and I am also a 28-year-old actress and entertainer, but it's part of my life's purpose to be a mother one day. And I am so excited to play that role, but I am so scared to have limited to no choice in what should be a very sacred, very personal, very private decision about my life. Now, for decades, women's reproductive rights have been protected. But Donald Trump and that crazy-ass J.D. Vance overturned Roe v. Wade, and I have fewer rights standing before you today than I did 2 years ago, which is crazy to say. I have less rights than my mother did, and those rights that my grandmother fought for. But the future is now, and yet we are going back in time. More than 1 out of every 3 women in America lives under a Trump abortion ban. Now, the consequences of these bans are real, and they are dangerous, and we know that. Many of us have heard the painful stories or have even survived some of the impacts. That's because courageous women from all corners of the country, like Hadley Duvall, here with us today. Yes, ma'am. She has spoken so beautifully and so boldly about the devastating repercussions of Trump's abortion bans. Now, thank you, Hadley, for using your voice, and thank you for doing so bravely. The cry, yes, give it up for Hadley. You better, you better. We're going to hear from her in a moment. Now, the cry for humanity in these stories alone should be enough for us to reject Trump. But it gets so much worse, y'all. Trump's Project 2025 lays out a plan to place the government firmly in control of women's bodies and women's lives in all 50 states, including right here in Nevada. And we don't want that, Nevada, do we? No, we do not. His agenda, written out plain as day, includes plans to ban abortion nationwide without the help of Congress, restrict access to birth control, and force states to report women's miscarriages and abortions to the federal government. Reproductive care is health care. There shouldn't be anyone other than your doctor in that office visiting with you. That door is closed and that body is yours, not a politician's. And these kinds of retrograde ideas are not what young Americans want. Right, young Americans? Yeah. But we sure as hell have to deal with the consequences if we don't vote. So around elections, we always tend to hear about how young Americans' apathy towards politics, but I know how energized my dear Gen Z is. Right? Yeah. That's your cue. Yeah. Now, to any of you who are considering sitting this election out, I don't think it's us today, but for those tuning in, I'm aware that it feels like politics wasn't built for us. And yes, it is easier to look away. But while you do, someone will control your life for you. And I'd rather that be you controlling it. I want a world where you get to just be a college student, just be a 20-something, just be a dreamer, be an artist, be a creative, and not worry about fighting for the next 4 years. You just get to be a human being in the world that you chose to live in. But that won't happen if Donald Trump and his extreme allies get their way. So please consider the alternative. A Vice President Harris and Governor Walz that are fighting for a new way forward where our most fundamental freedoms are protected. The freedom to live safe from gun violence. The freedom to afford rent or buy that first home. Oh, I just got chills. The freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. Yes!
Yeah.
Got chills, yeah. And yes, the freedom to make your own decisions about your own body, to decide if and when and how to start a family. So as young Americans, we can be that difference between a brighter future with Kamala Harris as our president, or move backwards to a dark past where Trump strips away even more of our rights and freedom. And right here in Nevada, voters have the power to change the course of this election. You all could be the difference between a Trump presidency and a nation led forward by Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz. How powerful are you, Nevada? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Make sure to remind your circle, your inner circle of that power too. So join this movement. Make sure you're registered. Have the plan to vote. And as Momo says, Michelle Obama. Do something. Do what you can. Write the cards. Call the friends for the next 20 days. And you will be the difference for the next 4 years. Nevada, we can elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and turn the page on Trump's anti-woman, anti-freedom crusade once and for all.
Amen.
Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you. And now I'll turn it over to a fellow Gen Zer and a national leader in this fight, the phenomenal Hadley Duvall.